Bob was born into a humble family. Growing up, he was taught to be aware of one's weaknesses and to strive for success in life. As a child, he struggled with confidence, trust issues, and the need for validation. Over time, he developed a narrative in which he sees himself as not being good enough, which led to his approval-seeking behavior. This gradually erodes his sense of self, leading to anxiety and depression.
I think throughout my life, I had struggled consistently with confidence, self-image, and trust issues. I had problems believing in my own capabilities, and then I think I developed a sense of self-worth that only came about through the approval and affirmation of other people. But then the funny part is that even though when I do get affirmation or even appreciation for my contributions, right, I did not believe it was due to my own effort. So I end up attributing everything to luck. I have this problem when I was thinking about it. Right? It went back as far as primary school, and then it grew progressively throughout my life. I think there is this inferiority complex inside, right, that kind of resulted in a very subdued personality, and then so I don't really speak out. A lot of conversation happens inside my head, so I was always ruminating a lot. Yeah. And then so I don't speak my mind even with friends. So and then if necessary, right, I kind of adapted to fit in, so to speak. But inward inside, right, there's always this anger. There's a bit of bitterness that I cannot express myself, and then I became quiet and reserved, and sometimes people will say that I'm a pushover, the well-meaning friends. So I think this kind of contributed to an on and off depression that lasted for more than 10 years. When I was first initially diagnosed with depression back in 2009, initially it started with like just being starting to get a little bit more whiny, a lot of complaints and all these times lah. And then it was mostly, I think, due to there was a lot of constant layoffs around me, a lot of retrenchment, and everybody around me is gone except myself. And then even though I dodged all the bullets, right, then I start working. I start thinking, when is it my turn? What did I do? What did I deserve to stay around? And then I find myself becoming cynical, angry, and also anxious. So I start to become, difficult to approach, like some people actually describe me. I will be curt to the people I know. I'll give very short answers because I just want to get out on my face. And then even to those I don't know well, then I'll be impatient, I'll be angry, or even downright rude. So I went to a GP at Polytechnic. Then with all the symptoms, I cannot sleep, I'm tense all the time. And so he initially prescribed me some muscle relaxant and things like that. It's referred to IMH, and then where they give me a diagnosis of an anxiety disorder. I think I got better with the medication, but then in 2015, things kind of blew up again because I think the previous 2 years, my son was born. I changed to a new job, and then the job was supposed to be perfect. Lots of opportunities, increase in pay and everything, but it turned out to be the most toxic environment I've ever worked in. And then, so 1 year after that, I joined them, and one particular day, I was in my office. My office was 6th floor, and I was the only person on that level. So I was overlooking a field, and this thought just came to me that what if I just jump down? What if I just ended it there and then? Because every day was just a struggle. Like, what's the point? But it was a very fleeting thought, maybe less than a minute. By the time I come back, right, so is a shocking thought as well, because I thought, I have a son now, I have a family. Why did they even come to me? I called a private psychiatrist this time, and then he prescribed me something strong, and then tried to stabilize my mood and all these things. I think then it continued like that for another 3 years. The medication was useful, but all my emotions was like cut off. I don't feel sad or anxiety. I don't even feel happy. It's just like everything was just a blur. And then even there were days, but there were still days, right, that I would still have meltdown. It's a bit like, there's a dam built up to stop the water from coming. Eventually, after 3 years, I left that toxic job. And then I continued going to 2 more jobs after that. But it's the same kind of reaction. I was feeling angry, I was feeling sad, I was feeling anxious all the time. I just can't be happy. And then I think I was kind of felt broken and useless and really quite helpless. I grew up in a very poor family. My parents, when they came out, they started living in a rental unit. They eventually bought over the unit, but the whole message given to me was always one of, you need to do better. You need to be perfect. Don't settle just to be enough. See, that kind of thing. And so I think that message kind of stuck throughout my life. And then I have this problem. I developed this problem later on, that I just don't be happy. Don't settle. If you complete something, look for another objective and just keep moving. Yeah. I think in some ways I am, a lot of times when I'm doing my things, right, going about doing my things, I want to please my mother. I want to help her, and I want to, be a comforting presence to her, because I kind of feel that at that moment that emotion is her. But I also feel that helplessness. This constant struggle is always within me. It's like, I want to do something so that I can make her proud, but it's not something I want to do. It's not something that I would want to do for myself. I used to have this idea that, okay, if there's something wrong with the way I think, it can be fixed with medication. So when I went into counseling the first time, I don't really understand what I was expecting for. I thought I would just take pills and things would go away. What was not so helpful is probably when I was not able to reach a state whereby I'm willing to tell them the things I want to tell them. Might be a sense of their focus for me is wrong. There was one particular counselor who was actually very focused on what I'm doing at my work. And I felt that it really wasn't about my work, is it? It's about that whole mindset of me going through work. So I didn't feel like I can continue with him. And then other counselors was more of trying to work on the whole psychological thing of how I arrive at my thought. And what I really wanted to do was work on my emotions. What worked for me then was more of much more aware of my emotions, the sensations and feeling. I think it's a bit like warning bells inside me that if I'm going to do something that I'm not so sure of, then I've been taught from counseling, right, that okay, then I have a set of evaluation questions. That's it. well, why am I feeling this way? What do I want to achieve? How am I going to do it? And I think very important is, who am I doing it for? Because then I start to question myself that, hey, am I trying to do this so that I can gain some recognition, maybe from my mother, who will never actually be able to give me the kind of affirmation that I want. And so it prevents me from going into that manic mood of trying to do things for the approval of others. And then so I don't burn myself out. I don't start doing things that I question myself later. Yeah, and then I can make a lot more conscious decisions, right? So that I don't get overwhelmed with emotions. One of the biggest things I learned, right, is I'm my biggest critic. Yeah, I block out all the affirmations, whether it is from myself or is it from other people. I'll just say, no, don't settle. Just continue to find something better. So then, because I think I have this idea in me that if I deny myself all the gratification and rewards, right, this is the way to push myself to do better. And then so that's why I end up disbelieving anyone, including myself, when I do a good job. I think the large part of this, right, is due to the messages I got in my childhood. So they say that don't be satisfied, don't be lazy, become better, you're not good enough, kind of thing. And so all these kind of thoughts, right, this behavior kind of become like automatic instructions to me. I will automatically be having this thinking inside me that, okay, don't settle, just move on. You got something better. You need to do it, become better, do better. And then, but I think now that I think back, right, they are not really effective at some situations, and then I think even outright harmful, because I didn't stop. So strangely, I always have this idea that I need to get this, somebody tell me that I've done a good job. Somebody tell me that I'm well done, you know. That never came from the person I wanted to. And then even when it comes, I still don't believe it. Firstly, they are not alone, yeah, and they really deserve to get help and get better, yeah, because I'm thinking of the days, right, before I started looking for help, right, and I felt that if I go and look for help, right, I will be perceived as being weak, and then I also don't want to let other people know that I'm struggling, because there's a bit of a shame there, and also I think there's a stigma against seeking mental support. And so all these feelings of fear and shame, right, kind of obstructed me from seeking help, and then until things really got bad enough that I have to be medicated, you see. And I hope that this doesn't happen to anybody. Yeah. And then even then, right, I mean, when I was under medication and things like that, I thought that, okay, then I will just live with this my entire life because I'm just not normal. But I think I would like to share today, right, that it is not so. I can get better. Anybody can get better if you get help. They get kind of support. They talk through their problems. They can become, they can have the skills and the strength to deal with the daily struggles. Yeah. I think talking about my problems was the first step. It was just like, I don't know, I think I still felt that particular moment was magical. It's like I had this voice inside of me that I muted and I suppressed and I never let it speak. And then suddenly that person just came out that day and just started talking. And then that's where the entire healing process just started.
Bob managed to resolve most of the issues originating from his childhood through therapy. He had recently completed his training in counseling and is in the process of joining the profession, in the hope of helping others, just like how his counselor had helped him in the past. He is hopeful about the choices that had opened up to him, which he attributes to the insights he developed through his therapy sessions.